Amy. I'm the owner of Empowered Digital Marketing, Empowered Social Media, and we have Kat, our communications director, with us here today. Both of us are power users, so we're going to be going through some of the AI tools available for Canva. I'm going to start sharing my screen. You don't just see yes now. We have some little presentations that we're going to go through, which is a step-by-step talking about the application, when it's good to apply, or when you could use a certain tool, how you can use a certain tool. And then we're going to go towards the end in more of a live environment. We'll actually show, like, how does this work in real time, versus going through where Kat did some demonstrations that are going to be in this presentation. So the other thing to know about me, my presentation style, is I am okay with you interrupting. I'm okay with you asking questions, because usually if someone has a question, then somebody else also has that question, and it's great for us to be able to have conversation. And if that means I have to pull out of the presentation to show something quickly, I love doing that, and people typically like that as well. Oh, hello. I can't tell what your name is. P. Samson. Okay, I'm gonna just mute that for some there. Okay. All right. So AI tools in Canva. We're gonna go over Magic Design, Magic Media, Magic Studio, and Magic Switch. We didn't make these names up. This is what Canva calls them all in here. But some really, really cool features that they've added. And one of the things that I really like, which we'll get into, is that they have some video generation options available, because we talk over and over again, marketing strategy, that video is one of the most important pieces that you have. And whether it's taking still images, turning them into video, or taking video clips and turning them into something that looks a little bit more professionally edited, they have some AI features available for that. All right. So first we're going to look at Magic Design. So Magic Design is template design. So for creating specific content like posts on Instagram or Facebook, this is where Magic Design comes into play. If you're looking at presentations, you want to create a slide deck to be able to educate somebody on something that you do, there's Magic Design for presentations, and then we have Magic Design for video. Excellent. We're going to jump in. Great. So this is going to go as a step-by-step through the process. One other thing I wanted to mention is that for all of our live sessions, that people who join the live session will get a recording, and will also get the slide deck as well. So if you're like, oh, he's going so fast, I couldn't take all the notes, you're going to get all the materials anyways to be able to look at and have access to. Because there's some stuff that will probably feel like we're moving pretty fast on for it. But in here, again, you're going to get step by step. So if we want to use Magic Design, in the search bar, we can put in what we want to find or want to get created for us. So if you're used to Canva, Canva has a free plan. So some of the tools in here are going to be under the free plan. Some are going to be under the pro plan as well. You can go to canva.com, you can create a free account, and you'll have access to many of the features, but not all of the features that are included inside of Canva. So this is going to canva.com, and this is your home screen or your dashboard in canva.com. And this is where people will type in, what do I need? If there isn't like a short option for you to select right off of the menu. If you want something specific, you can type it in here. Now, one thing that's important that you're going to notice if you're a Canva user previously to using some of this AI is that now someone puts in Instagram post, or even goes very specific, Instagram post for my dog's birthday in here, is that you'll get the templates that Canva has, and you'll see the icon, Instagram post portrait, Instagram post square, search Instagram post, and you're going to get this little magic icon in here instead. So this magic icon is the AI tool doing the work for you. So it's not that they already have people who've created it or Canva themselves that has the Instagram post for your dog's birthday. It's that you're using the tool now to be able to create it. So we're going to pause for a second to think of, there are so many other things that you could ask for in here for then to pop up this option for you to create the template or the design. So we're going to click on it now. Well, when we click on it, it's going to now generate some options, and we're going to see some different options that we can scroll through. So you see this arrow in here. We're going to click left, right. We're going to move through the ones, and we're going to find the one that we like best. Once we've found that, we select the design by clicking on it. Now, once we click on it, it's going to open up a window. So if you're, again, used to using Canva, when you select a template or select an option that they've had in the system before, it's going to pull open this window for you already. It may say the designer who created it or say Canva created it. Now you're going to see Magic Design because it was developed in the Magic Design system. You hit customize this template. We always recommend, if you're using Canva, to name it right away. There's not going to be a name that pops in here. Other designs, if you're using a template, like it's going to populate the name of the template. And then it could be confusing for you when you download it, because the download file name is going to be the name that you put in here. So this is just good practice. Put the name of what you want to create in here so that when you download it as a file, that name's really clear for you to be able to search again in the future. So you rename it, your design, and then you can customize all the elements of it. So if that's this little block that it created, changing the color, changing the font, you can do everything now that you would have before inside of Canva, but now you had this really great starting place for you. So one other thing I want to mention about, I would say, AI in general is that it doesn't do everything for you. So let's have realistic expectations, right? It doesn't do everything for you, but it can be a great starting place for you. And maybe it takes away 50%, 75%, 85% of the work of trying to find the right template or not finding the right template and then creating the whole thing from scratch. The point of it is it's going to do a lot of the work for you so that now you have all this free time to create more content or free time to focus on other things like your business and growing your business instead of these content creating things that may not have been the thing that you thought you signed up for when you started your business. All right. Next, instant presentations. So very similar, we get started. We're going to click on the presentations icon now. So we could go through search, but we're going to click on the presentations icon. And these are going to be standard icons that are going to be right off of that main dashboard for you to select from. All right, it's going to give us some options right away to choose from. We're just going to click the create blank. So create blank. Now it opens us up to a selection where we can select different designs that are out there, add elements, text, or branding, uploads. In here, we're going to now describe 5+ words and type it in. So presentation about import, what is that? Do you remember?
I'm not sure I remember.
All right, we'll see what it comes up with. Presentation about the importance of something. All right, so we type it in, and then we're going to see, so it says high quality visual media matters, product of visuals. So something to do with visuals is what I'm coming up with for this. So we type it in, we hit enter, and we see some that it already automatically generates for us. We can click the see all. And so what this is doing, and we can be very specific. So like the more specific we get about this prompt in here, the better it's going to be about generating. So it's not just generating the design, but it's actually going to generate the content in there as well. So if we said presentation about the top 10 reasons for having video content in your social media marketing, it will create each of those slides and then build out content and writing to be able to support with each of those slides. So it's not just like random slides, random language that's in there. It'll actually try to tailor it to the specifications you give. Sorry. So we hit see all in there. Now we're going to see more options for us to scroll from. If we want to click on one, now we're going to see all of the different pages that they add to it. So with a presentation, right, you're going to have like your title slide. Then you might have a section's getting introduced. Maybe you have team members that are a part of it. So there's going to be different slides and different slide formats. So they create all that for you in here. If you like them all, you can hit apply all to 7 pages and pull them all into your design, or you can pick 1 here, 2 there, 3, maybe like 4 of the 7 that they have. You get to select what comes over for you to be able to utilize in your editing side on the right. Once you get it over there, then you can do all of the customizations that you want. One thing that's important to know is there are some features in here which a lot of businesses, professionals don't know, and that's that you can change all of one thing at once when it comes to the colors. So if you wanted to change certain fonts all to one color, certain elements all to one color, you click it, you change the color once, and then you'll scroll to the bottom and you're going to see this option that says change all. So, you know, the template came with not your colors for branding. Even if you wrote in here, have it in this color, maybe it doesn't have the exact color code that you're looking for. Now you can change all of that particular item across all of the slides to that color all at once for you. So that's a little shortcut tip we have in here when you're doing editing of designs. Now you don't have to go to each individual slide and change each individual element. You can have them change across the board. Is there anything you want to add to that, Kat?
You can do it for fonts as well. That's the only thing I would add. So if you have a brand font that you like using, you can switch that out as well if you don't like the font they chose for your template.
And that's like you select it, change one, and you can change them all?
Yeah, the same thing will pop up that it'll just say change all, and you can, the same thing.
Excellent. Great. All right, next one is Magic Design for Video, which I'm really, really excited about. And we're going to show this in the live section as well. So we'll come back to this because this is really important.
That is so good.
Celia. Oh, I'm going to mute her. She doesn't realize she's not. That bread's really good, though. You're at a bakery? You don't have to answer that. Okay, here we go. All right. So Magic Design for Video. So we can now click in what type of video do we want. If we want to create an Instagram reel, we can type that in to the search bar, or we can select it if we're clicking Instagram or social media. So what's the sizing that we want? So we're going to find the appropriate sizing by typing in what we need. We're going to click it to open up that option. Now, once you click it on the left side, there's going to be Generate Video Instantly as a new option that pops up. We're going to click that. What it's going to allow us to do is to pull in content. So anything that we've already uploaded into Canva, it's going to allow us the ability to choose from that, or allow us to now upload some new options. And these can be 3 images plus, they could be images and video files. It's really up to what you have for the resources. So we're going to add the content or select what content we want to have be part of this video or upload. Okay. Now there's going to be an option for us to type in our prompt. And it's a little bit cut off in here. I mean, you can see there's a check for one of the resources that we're using in here. And then you're going to see part of the prompt importance of optimizing your website for mobile viewing in here. So we have the opportunity to create a prompt. And this is a technical term when you're thinking of AI in general, whether AI is using it to create or help create writing for you, visuals for you. Prompt is like what you're asking AI to do for you. And one cool thing with AI is that typically you can be more, the more you explain, the better with it. That is going to get to more of what you want for the result. All right, so once we have our prompt in here, we've selected our content, we're going to hit generate. It's gonna say on the generator option, grab some popcorn. It could take 1 minute to 2 minutes for the system to generate the content. So just know that going into it when you generate it, I mean, it's again helping you out, and it's doing it from the content that you had given it, but it may take a little bit of time, and they'll have like a little progress bar on the left side for it to generate the content. But what does it generate? In here, it's going to generate different scenes. It's going to generate transitions. It's going to generate text that's going to go on each scene, and it's going to generate animations that are happening all at the same time. So we'll see how it breaks it out for us, 3.6 seconds. And this is your scene 1, a transition, scene 2, transition, and so forth in there. It also is going to grab audio for us. So it grabbed music to go along with it that it thinks is a good pairing for it. Now, everything, again, is editable. So we have it, it created it. Maybe we love it. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. Or like, great, but this animation blocks this. Let me move that in here. Let me change that color. Whatever you need to do, you can go through and you can edit it, change out the music as well. So love this feature, and we'll look at it in the live too. All right, so you got color you can change. Add shape. There's a lot of really cool features that you can add in that are already available to you in Canva. And that's one of the reasons why I love Canva for short form video content. Long form video content is just obnoxious to try to create inside of Canva, but short form video content, all of the additional tools that already come with that platform make it really easy and customizable for your content. Jeanette? Yeah.
There a certain time that you would say is best for the short form video content to post on social media?
I think you're really looking at 1 minute or less for that short form content. Some platforms operate a little bit differently. So like, I want to answer this because Kat's also our social media expert on the team. Kat, what would you give for a more specific recommendation?
Yeah, I think less than 1 minute is what I would have said if your goal is to kind of reach new people in that space. I think once you kind of have an established audience, you can go longer than that. But I think if you're trying to grow on social media, less than 1 minute is going to be best. Can I just ask one other question? In terms of video content, does that somehow change the algorithms? Like why you're saying it's so much better? Like does it gets more visual, like gets more people seeing it? Yeah, I think it's because, people can look at a picture for a second and then keep scrolling, but I think video, the algorithm can tell when someone is actually watching it. So since it captures their attention for longer, it's then boosted to more people. So, video content pretty much across the board on all platforms is like the best type of content. So if you can create video content, we always recommend doing that. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I think in addition, it just typically is more authentic content if we're doing video content. And with social media platforms, it creates a lot more engagement typically too. So whether that's people just hanging out longer and watching the content or actually engaging with the content, the social media platforms like it because of that. It also, as a business, it is known to move people down our sales funnel 14 times faster than other types of content. So it's a win-win. You drive more people to see your content, higher engagement levels, and then moves people down your sales funnel faster. normal Canva account. When you say normal Canva account, are you saying like the free versus the pro? I just see that question in there. So if you want to ask that. And so, again, some of the features are going to be in free. Some of them are going to be available in pro too. So yes. So some are not available. Some of the features like changing things across the board, those are going to be available. Some of the AI is going to be available as well inside the free account, but there's other things that we've shown in here that are not available in the free account too. Like some of the premium features are like your images, image library that they have, video library that they have that you can add into as well, and pulling in branding as well are some of those features that you don't get with that free account. All right. And then once you're ready, you can hit play to check out how that actually looks from start to finish, and then modify as necessary. Excellent. All right, moving into Magic Media. This is text to video and text to image. So another video option that Canva gives us. Before it was we give it content and ask it to create a video off of it. Now this is we ask it to create a video with our prompt. So what does that look like? All right, we're going to open our apps. So on the left-hand side, so this is when you get into design mode. You're going to have an apps feature. It's also going to be on your dashboard as well on the left side too, but we're just showing it in the edit side. You're going to click on apps. You're going to go into your search bar and you can type in, or you can go to your apps as well to find the app that you're looking for, Magic Media. You select it. We'll see, this is how it appears. You select Magic Media. And then we're going to describe what we want for it to create as an image, or we can click over to video and describe what we want to create as a video. So we're going to type our prompt in here, again, being as specific as possible. And we're going to hit generate. And just showing quickly that there's styles underneath. We'll talk about that more, but we have none for style. So we're not giving it anything besides what we've asked for in our prompt above. All right, so our prompt above gives us options, 4 options. And maybe one of the 4 options we're like, yes, that's great, or that's, all right, this is on the direction that I want, but it's not perfect there. You can select the images you want to use in your design, or click the generate again if you're not happy with your choices. So sometimes, especially when it comes to images or video content for AI, I think there's some trial and error you all have to do in the process of like, ooh, okay, the way I described it, I get why I created it like this. How can I describe it differently to now help it understand? Like, you have to think about it as somebody who like kind of knows the language, but doesn't really know the language. So the more clear you have with your language that you're giving it, the better the result that you're going to get out of it. All right, so we can generate a new one if we're not happy. We can adjust the prompt if we're not happy with it, or we can select one of the options that it gives us. We can also have it work off of a very specific style instead. So we just gave it free reign. Now we're going to go style. We can hit the see all underneath. All right, so we can have it be a photo. We can have it vibrant, minimalist, neon, moody, high flash, soft focus. We can choose what we want it to do, to have it be realistic, cartoonish. It's really up to us. We make the choice. All right, and then we're going to hit generate again. Great, and when we hit generate again, it's going to give us a new option to be able to choose from. When we like that, we can click it, and it's going to move over into our design to be able to utilize. All right. sure we have no questions. We're going to go to the next. All right, magic media videos. So as someone who's tested this out thoroughly, I do want to mention that it is not the best, and it will even say it when creating people. So if you're someone who likes to get creeped out, add that to, if you've ever seen creepy AI content, yeah. If you try to put a prompt together with people in it, it's gonna look a little bit like that's not normal for it. So know that a little bit, that when you're creating the prompts for the content, so I'll show you, like we're going back into it and we click on videos now, and it will say, describe the scene. And then it says, this is the powered by Runway, which is a model, a video generation model, AI model. Is this new technology, scenes with people or animals, and it will give you more details. May not look right, is what it's getting to. So this is not, when it comes to images, the AI technology that they use is far better at creating people than it is when you're creating people and animals in video. So I would definitely avoid doing that unless, again, you want to be like, whoa, what can this not do well? Then you can see. So I would say just avoid doing people and animals at this point. It's just the technology is not there yet to be able to simulate realistically the things that we want out of it. So it's better for creating scenes or adding like little B-roll to video or little clips, or you're like, ooh, it'd be great if I had this, but there's nothing out there stock video wise that really can do that for me, or I have to purchase it. You can create little scenes like this, a sunset over the ocean in the style of professional cinematography, natural light. So again, we gave as much detail as possible. We didn't use people or animals in here. And now we can see, after we hit generate, this is what it created for us. We can hover over to see what that looks like. And these are things that are really important for the technology to improve in here. There's going to be star rating. So please, if you ever see that stuff, don't dismiss it. It's not going to ask you for follow-up. It just wants to know, like, how good was this for what you had asked for, and be realistic with it. Like 4, it could have been better, or 5, that was perfect, or this is really bad. 1, that helps the technology know over time and learn what's good, what's not good for you. So you can look at it, great, you like it, you think that's right, you can add it to, or you can regenerate and adjust your prompt. So it's generated, we can click it and we can now add it over into our design. So again, this can be helpful, but have realistic expectations about this tool itself and how you're going to be able to utilize it. It's going to be more for like aesthetic scenes that you're adding that are not going to be specific for people. Also, I tried a lot of food ones because I know that there are some people who are a part of this who do like food and coaching around food. Not excellent for some of that stuff as well, unfortunately. Again, if you want to see some weird stuff, you can try it with food. It's like just like grain, like I had it where you like grains of things in bowls were like moving and on its own, and you're like, what? That's weird. So anyways, again, some of this technology is not there yet. So if you see something you're like, it's just not there. Okay. All right, now we have Magic Studio. We have Magic Edit, Magic Eraser, and Magic Expand. So this is like, oh, I have something, but it'd be cool if I can adjust it in this way. Or, oh, this was great, but something was in the way of making it perfect. Or, oh, this is really small. So this happens sometimes when you're doing social media content. You want to have this portrait, like your phone up and down version for Instagram Reels or Instagram Stories. But you have a small image of it, so it's not going to fill in all the way effectively, there's ability for us to magic expand as well. So let's look at these tools. All right. So the way we get to this is any photo that we have, we click on that photo, it's in our design, and we can hit the edit photo option. After we hit edit photo, there's going to be an option in there in our like design studio area that says magic edit. We click on that. Now it's going to give us how big of the brush do we need to be able to highlight what we want to have and edit. We can select that. We can select the whole image. If there's something in the image itself, the whole image we want to be able to adjust, or if we want just one single thing that we want to swap out. So then we like paint the area, right? You paint it in there, you describe what you want. So we wanted AI to create the lime slice to take over. For the kiwi in there, we hit the generate option. It's going to give us 4 different options, or if no, it didn't work for us, generate new results. And then we can select the one we want, and now it just replaced it for us in that image. Super cool. So you could do any of these things. You could probably think of like the possibilities where I can start with this image, then I can adjust it in this way, then I can take that image and I can move it into a video. There's a lot of different ways that these different tools can get comboed in the future. All right, magic eraser, same thing. We see an image, we click the edit for the photo, click magic eraser. We're going to get the paintbrush option in there, and we paint what we want to have taken out and erased. And we hit the generate. It takes a second, and now we see what it generated for us. Really cool. Another thing that I really like about Canva is there's all these, like, we're talking about a lot of the AI features in here, but there's just a lot of awesome features in general that are like, there was an app for this and there was an app for that. And so you had like, as a creator, you're like 15 different apps to do all these little things because none of them had everything. Well, that's what one of the things that I love about Canva is that they're always being innovative. They're always adding these new features and applications so that you can get all of them in one place instead of having to have 15 different apps or a website that you went to pull out the background on something. But again, some of these features are going to be on that Pro account. I will say personally, and this is before even having, because at this point we're a marketing agency, and we've been a marketing agency for some time, but there is a point as me as an entrepreneur who was just growing the business on my own, part-time, moving full-time before I had team members, where this was definitely one of the best purchases, whether it was back when I was just the entrepreneur using it myself or as a team. That $20 a month, the things that you get out of it, really, like the time that you save, all the extra features that you get along with it, like it's so worth it. So worth it. I don't get any money out of that either, unless I send you a referral link. All right, so we have Magic Expand. So now this is the example, like you have the content in here, but it doesn't fit what you really want it to be. Now, what you would traditionally do is you like expand it. So you just grab one side, like you pull it to a corner, pull it to another corner. But what happens is like that gets blurry, right? Because like the more you zoom in on something, the lower the resolution, the quality becomes, and it's not crisp anymore. You're like, I can't really even use it now because now it's too blurry. Instead, you can use the Magic Expand. You can choose, well, this is where you have for your image right now. What do you want to expand it into? You choose the option you want to expand it into, and it's going to fill in that area for you. So instead of stretching that out, it's going to now generate the content around it to be able to fill it in for you. And this, I think, is a really phenomenal tool. And for the most part, works very effectively. Again, some of these are going to be in your beta testing, so there's still like newer features. So if you ever see any of the AI stuff, you're like, that didn't work out perfectly, it's because they're still testing it and we're still learning a lot with AI. So, but for the most part, work extremely well. To then again fill out, but keep that resolution for the image itself. So you're not missing out on anything and it's still clear and crisp. All right. Now we're going to move into Magic Switch. So change the size and format of your design. So this is a feature that like Canva has had for a while. They're just pulling it into the umbrella of their magic tools. Now there's been the ability where you can change it from one type of template to another type of template. So if you have like a square post that you're creating on Instagram, but you're like, ooh, I want to transition that from a square to now a portrait one so that I can take that and put it on stories. That's been a feature. They just got better at being able to transition that from one size to another. All right, so Magic Switch. So at the very top, this is a pro feature you see with the crown in here. So crown, pro feature, anything that you saw with a crown that tells you that it's a pro feature. So we can click it, hit resize in Magic Switch. Now we choose what we want it to resize into. Just another cool thing aside, because we're seeing it right here. Translate to another language as an option that's in here as well. Pretty cool. For the most part, this works really well. Because we have bilingual team members. So whenever we're creating content in Spanish, which is the language that we're bilingual in, we have our team members check that content. And for the most part, it translates it very well. But as a marketing agency, and if there's any bilingual people who are a part of this session today, you'll know that marketing terms, there aren't a lot of Spanish translations directly for marketing terms, technical marketing terms out there. So there's some like opportunity for people to choose what they want for that. But in general, translation features works well. And I'm going on a tangent, so which I tend to do. But down here, you can resize it. So you can pick one of the options. This could be that you've chosen these in the past. You can see all. You can search for what you're looking for. Well, if we want to change it now to a Facebook video, which is 1080 by 1080, we can click that. And so this is like repurposing we're thinking of now. So some of these allow us to now repurpose content. So one platform, it needs it in this size, but another platform needs it in this size. How do we not have to redo the whole thing from scratch? So this allows us to repurpose our content. So we click on the resize button, and then we select and hit continue. We have the opportunity for it to resize the design itself or copy and resize. So let's say that you're trying to create, and we call these templates. They're like areas that you're working on designs in. If you wanted to create one template that was working off of Instagram posts, but another template that you used as YouTube thumbnails or for email marketing, the copy and resize allows you to resize it, but then have it in a different place for you to use in the future. So if you wanted your designs to be set up that's optimally for a YouTube thumbnail, which is your horizontal type content in one place, but then another that's your portrait content you're using in Instagram stories, the copy and resize allows you to have a different template that you're working out of versus the document that you're in currently gets transitioned completely over to that one size. So sorry if that's complicated to say, because if you're not used to using Canva, I guess it's similar if you use a different platform like Photoshop, is that when you're creating your content, you have a place that you're creating it, and it's all got to be in one size. So you can have one of the pages that you're designing is in one size and another one's in a completely different size. They all have to have a similar size format in that one design that you're looking at. All right. If you have further questions about that, ask Kat. She probably can answer that more clearly than I can, obviously. Here we go. Next. So copy and resize. We've said to copy it, resize in a different template. So this is, again, as we're looking like, how do we look back or edit a template that we worked on in the past? And it gives us that opportunity. So we're going to open Facebook video, that template, and now we can do the same thing. We can resize anything inside the content. So it's pretty good. Again, it doesn't do 100% for us. So, maybe 95% of things were good and how they placed it, because you got to think they're now choosing how it's resized and where the focal points are based off of your old design. So if you were horizontal and now you want vertical, like it has to figure out where am I going to place all those things, because there was space that didn't exist now that is filling up. So it's going to, for the most part, put everything in the right places, but you may have to make some slight adjustments to that content, moving things, rearranging it, maybe adjusting the size in it a little bit. But again, it's helping us repurpose content, getting us in that hopefully 85 to 90%. It's doing the work for us. Great. All right. So this is the part where we go on the live. So I'm going to pop out of this full screen. We're going to go to Canva. And I'm going to show you Canva. So this is if you're logging into Canva with an account. Excellent. And again, as you're going into Canva, you'll see crowns equal pro for people who are on the free account. So I'm here. I want to create video content. I'm going to go down here. It says Instagram Reel. Great. I'm going to click on Instagram Reel. All right. It is loading. And the loading in here is going to be slower than what you will anticipate having. It's just because whenever you're on Zoom and you're sharing your screen, it eats up some bandwidth. So over here is a generate video instantly. So just like we showed in the presentation, I'm clicking it. All right. So we have these are going to be the images that you've uploaded in the past or videos that you've uploaded in the past to be able to click to select from, or you can upload in here. I'm going to click some in here.
If you don't have a lot of images to use, like Canva does have a really nice stock library, and unfortunately you can't browse that here, but what I'll often do is, like for an Instagram Reel, I'll open up an Instagram story template in Canva, add in some of the photos I'm going to use, download those as images, and then if you upload them here, you can use the stock photos. So I like doing that.
Great. So recap on it, you can take Canva's images, you just have to add them to a design and download them first before you can then upload them or use them for this feature. I'm sure, as again, we're in beta right now, that will be an option in the future for you to select from, but right now that's the workaround that you have. All right, so I selected items in here, and then I'm going to say, all right, create a fun video highlighting why people should purchase cat mugs for the holidays. Anything else, Kat? Why people should purchase cat?
The character limit is pretty limited with this feature, I've found. So I think you almost always have to adjust the language once the video is generated. So try to add as much detail as you can, but you may hit that character limit.
All right, so yeah, cat mugs for hot and cold beverages. Okay, yeah. Hit the character limit. Okay.
But you could just take out creative fun
and
just do video. If you just start with the word video instead.
There you go. And look at that. So my cat's here. Beverages. All right, and the reason I'm trying to add a little bit more in here is because, again, it's going to have writing. It's going to add writing to it. So I'm trying to give it a little bit more, so when it does create the writing, it's going to be more in that 85 to 90% of the work is doing for me. Okay, so now I'm going to hit generate. And we'll just be patient with this, because this thing isn't always the most, as you see, accurate. It's like it starts off really fast. Oh, boom, look at that. Okay, so it created the content for us. We have scene 1 in here. Are you looking for the perfect gift for the cat lover in your life? Boom, look at that. And then it goes to the next scene in here. Look no further than these adorable cat mugs. That's not a cat mug, but we'll ignore that right now. And they're perfect for hot and cold beverages, and they're sure to put a smile on there. All right, so you see, face, perfect, on their face. Excellent. So what are you waiting for? Boom, so we can see all of the different scenes that it's created. Now we can click in, and if we want to edit anything, we can click on that. It added some of these little icons in there too. And then we have music down here. So what I like to do is if something's like glaring, like the writing is like way off, then you can make an edit in here. Once you've done that, we go in and we hit play. And I'm not sure you're going to hear my audio, so you might not hear the music. Do you hear the music? Oh, nice. Okay. So you hear the music with it. Okay, so we can notice a couple things as we're going through here. Like this scene, like the words are over her face. So that's not perfect in there. At the end, it's pulling in our branding automatically. So it's pulling in our logo, but you see like that doesn't work because it's the white version of the logo. So then we just go in, make those edits to it. So, all right, that was in the right place for it. Let's pull it here. That was in the right background for it. Let's change the background like that. The transitions you can edit, the music you can edit, and now we can see whether it's you start from the beginning or you can just go right to that place and hit play down here. So you don't want to have to wait 15 seconds to get to the place that you edited. You can just click here, hit play. You'll see, great. The faces in this one, maybe I want to put a little bit more. And then same thing, clicking here. So boom, just like that, in 2 minutes, it's been able to create. Okay, thanks, Mary. Just being able to create a video for us that we can now use on a social media platform. So love it. Does this only create the assumption of sales? We are more of an educational organization, nonprofit. So I would just make sure that you did that in the generation of it. So let's just click. I hope I don't break the system. I'm trying to generate while I'm already generated a video in here. So let's go and click here, these again. And you'll notice that it wouldn't pull up the prompt or let me go forward until I at least selected 3. So that's why the screen shifted. All right, create an educational video on why ceramic mugs are the best. Let's say like 100% ceramic mugs are the best. So I haven't tried to generate a video in a video, so we'll have to see together for the first time. Does it take over the old video? Where does it go? What happens? Does it break the system? Oh, look at it. It dropped it on at the end. Excellent. So now, let's see. Here. So it gears it more towards educational. You may, again, with the tool as it's in beta, have to, like, it may drop in a like sales message in there. You may just have to take it out. So you see, like, purchase now, you might be like, oh, that's not what, like, learn more about, or get more educated, or look at our blog. Like, you can adjust that call to action in there based off of what's going to fit you the best. So we see that it is more geared towards educating right now. But since that prompt was small, they were able to put in there, like, we could only feed it so much information on what we wanted to educate and how to educate on it. So there may be some of this that you just have to adjust slightly for that to really fit it in. I hope that answered your question. Yeah. Yeah, and it could definitely be a pitch to generate program participation as well, for sure. Excellent. One other thing that I want to mention, because we're getting to time, and please throw in. Yeah, oh, awesome. Thank you. If you have any questions or anything else you want to see, because we're going to be ending at 12. But one thing that's really important, because I had a business ask me this in the past, is that they said when resizing things for Instagram Reels, sometimes part of the content gets cut off. And one thing to know is that as I'm editing, I'm going to shift. You're going to see this purple line that now becomes available. Do you see that? Like it's like a square, or it's not like a square, but it's a rectangle. It's a rectangle in there. This is going to be your optimal visual area. So you don't want to go outside of this area, because not only is there an opportunity for it to cut off, if you're trying to use the same format for multiple platforms, but also, like, it's just not visually appealing. Like, if I have that too, like at the very end, like, it just, like, when you get into like visual design, some of these things are things that you're like, oh, that doesn't feel right. You don't know why it doesn't feel right, but like, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel well designed. They're going to be core concepts, and one of that's going to be in the visual area. So we can adjust it to make sure that it's in that ideal visual area. We're not coming outside of that ideal visual area for us too. I think that file, where is, this might be in settings now. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So there's also some other things that you can add, like there's show rulers and guidelines, show margins. There's things that you can add into designs if you wanted to have some more optimal support with making sure that, like, things are lined up perfectly. And you'll see that 3x3 grid in here for any of our photographers or graphic designers. When you have visual focus points, you have the corners of your inner square are going to be key focal points that people are going to look at. So places where things should be visually showing up in your design. All right. Great. Let me take that off because it's going to bug me. Oh, no, let's get this off. Great. Any last minute questions? No. And this is really, we do teach a whole Canva course as well. We're going to have some more Canva stuff coming up. Again, we have it on the free side on a monthly basis, but we do have more robust course offerings, especially for a platform like Canva. So this isn't the only time you're going to see Canva. We usually have high interest in this because it's such a phenomenal platform for people to use. And as opposed to some of the other more complex ones, like if you've heard of Adobe Photoshop, this is a lot easier for the average person who doesn't have the graphic design skill set to be able to use effectively. All right. That's it for today. Keep an eye out for emails for upcoming, thank you, upcoming webinars we have. We have one free webinar a month, and you'll get all the resources we had today. Will be included in the email coming out probably tomorrow morning for you. Excellent. As always, thank you all for being a part of this. We appreciate you being a part of our community, telling us what you want to learn more about in the future. We love that stuff. And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.